Shout out. The Connects. Luis Guzman. Don't ever go, never leave my side. Passion's all I have, courage is my drive. And if I lost you, I would lose it all together. I wouldn't have composure to get it back together. I don't know.
Welcome to I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman podcast, where we highlight the journey of entrepreneurs, creatives, and business people alike to showcase that every light and dark moment create a beautiful piece of art. I am your host, Luis Guzman. We are proudly brought to you by Hanobi.com, and my guest today is hustle and flow personified, as he embodies the master of being an entrepreneur without sacrificing his artistic integrity. Born in Harlem and raised right on 444 Clinton Hill in Brooklyn, New York, he has overcome obstacles and literally emerged without a stain on his shirt. He is known for his platform, the Delgado's podcast, where him and his brother have interviewed music industry vets such as April Walker, Sadat X, Master Ace, Frankie Negron, DJ Enough, and many others. MC himself, who was once signed to the legendary Rough House Records, who were responsible for the likes of the Fugees, Cypress Hill, and Criss Cross. This man right here has passion for music, and it overflowed into other ventures such as owning his own nightclub, his own clothing line, and now his podcast, as his talent comes full circle, interviewing the movers and shakers in the industry and people of all walks of life. A man of many talents and many hats, he sits down with me today as a humble human being, a Boricua, a husband, a father, to discuss his past and his present, but most importantly, his future. My brother, Castro the Connect, Castro the Plug, but today he's just David Castro Delgado. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Wow, Louis.
Gotcha, papi.
Yo, listen. Listen, let me tell you something, bro. That intro,
Stop.
one, I'm not worthy, but two, I'm extremely humbled and flattered, man. What an intro. Thank you so much, brother.
No, listen.
I'm humbled, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me, man. I'm very happy to be here.
No, thank you, man. The honor's all mine. And, you know, I've said this before on other episodes. I'll say it again. The biggest asset that someone can give somebody else is their time, because you can never get that back. So the fact that you drove here and made time and are willing and able to share your story and give the most precious thing you have is your time, thank you. I'm humbled and thankful for that.
I appreciate you, man. And
Likewise.
I graciously accept that introduction. Thank you so much, brother.
Absolutely. My pleasure, man. So, brother, yeah, I always start off the podcast the same way, so I'm going to ask you the same question. Who is David Castro Delgado?
David Castro Delgado. He's a complex person, layered, flawed. You know, I'm an individual who's flawed. I'm imperfect. I'm still developing. I feel like I haven't arrived yet. So when you ask me who David Delgado is, I feel like he's this ever-evolving person who's still growing and still learning, still making mistakes and learning from his mistakes.
I felt this from you, right? And you're saying it now, and now it's starting to resonate with me more. The sense of humility that you carry around. For someone to be as humble as you are, to sit here in this chair with the things you have accomplished in your life, and the first thing you say is, I'm an imperfect individual that's still trying to evolve. God, if that's not like, number one, accountability, but also an awareness of what's left to do in your life and understanding what you did in the past that didn't work and trying to fix it. You know what I mean? I think that's a powerful statement. Go ahead, please.
Well, Louis, it's like this, right? Once a human being feels like they've arrived, that's the point where now they feel like they know everything. So once you're in a position where you feel like you know everything and you've arrived, you have no space to grow.
100%.
You have no space to grow. You always have to leave room to grow. You have to leave room to develop. You have to leave room to learn from your mistakes. I feel like as an entrepreneur, as creators, as business people, as fathers, as husbands, you know, you're constantly in a space where, yes, right, you've been placed in this leadership position, and at the same time, you also have to be humble enough to realize I don't have all the answers. You know, God, like, And to me, I'm a man of strong faith. I heard you mention a couple of minutes ago that
Yes.
you're a man of strong faith. You have to lean on God and say, God, you know, like what? What next for David? Where do you want me to grow, God? Where are you working in my heart? You have to be humble enough to speak to him and be like, God, you know what? I don't have the answer for this. Or God, I've made a mistake. I need to reconcile. You know, so we always have to be in that position.
And it's a very, it's a position it's easier said than done, right? Because I just, rattled off a lot of the things that you have done in your life so far. And if you hear that without hearing your voice and seeing who you are, you would think, oh, this person, they're probably cocky, or they probably think they know it all, or they have it all put together. But the fact is that we don't have it all put together. We're still learning. We're still growing. And, being a man of faith, I think, is the most important thing, because without faith, there's nothing to hold you accountable to what's next for you as a human being. We kill ourselves to our flesh every day. I try to kill myself every day to my flesh. It's the hardest thing in the world to do. I just had a argument yesterday with my wife. I love you, baby. We made up. And she said it to me right at the end. She was like, you know what it is? Your ego don't let you say sorry. And I had to catch myself, because I'm always Mr. Sorry. And at that moment, I looked at her, when like your wife is right. And I know your wife is here. She's looking right at you. But, it's like, she got you, and you do like a smirk. Like, I had that. But then I had to catch myself and say, you know what, babe, you're right. Who am I to try to who am I to try to make up an excuse when I know I'm wrong? And I say that now because you being here sitting with me, a man that has been through so much, yet still sees the opportunity to still fix and correct. I think as a human being, that's one of the hardest things to do, man, to kill yourself to your flesh. How do you process that every day with this, world that we're living in that's not really pure and good?
So I'm going to lean into something you said. My wife is here with me today. She's tough. I'm married to a Boricua. You married to a Boricua?
Yes, sir. Yes,
bro,
sir.
My wife is tough. Las Boricuas son fuertes.
No son fácil, bro.
Brother, son fuertísimas.
Fuertísimas.
Muscle emoji, son fuertísimas. So, one, my wife ain't letting me go to ham. But then on top of that, right, I like to view myself as an intellectual. And from an intellectual perspective, right, if you just think about the position that we are in, right, you have to look at the entire lens. Look through the entire lens and look at everything you've got going on, your platform, your podcast. Obviously, you have your professional career, you have your family, you're a father, right? You're a daddy.
Yes, sir.
So you have your children, you have your wife, you have your professional career, then you have your passion, which is this, right?
Correct.
So we have that, and we have a lot in common, Louis. We share faith in God. We share the fact that we both have a platform, right? You have a family, you have a wife, children. So when you look at all of that, it's like, how can I manage all of this, grow all of this, and then at the same time prosper? Because, just looking at you, I can see that you're someone who's very ambitious. You have goals, you have things that you want to accomplish, and you don't feel like you've arrived yet. So it's like, when you look at all of that, it's like, how can I not lean into God and ask him for some direction, ask him for some guidance, pray for favor, just like, God, give me favor. Yeah. God, have favor over Lewis's platform. Have favor over my platform, Lord. Bless my marriage. Help me be a better husband. Help me be a better dad. Help me be a better provider from a financial perspective. Give me the better business mind so I can move my family forward and I can prosper us. It's like, it's all these different things that we're constantly thinking about. And when you stay in that space, you have no choice but to lean on God, because I know that in my own strength, I can't do it.
None of us can. No, you need the Lord to intervene and be at the center of everything in your life.
No, 100%.
Yeah, because if you're not, you fall off,
bro.
And I've seen. I mean, we've been through it. You've been through it. I've been through it. But people I've known in my past, and I see them today, and man, it's like, if you can just, lean closer to God, lean closer to what God really wants in your life. But unfortunately, when the devil has a chokehold on you, it's hard to breathe.
No, it's difficult, man.
It's difficult, man. And you don't see the light, and you think there is no light. You think it's just, this is what it is. I'm in darkness. I speak from and I've said this on my podcast. I was addicted to marijuana for a long time. I was overweight. I was 330 pounds. I used to eat McDonald's 3 times a day. I went through a lot of self-discovery as to why I kept wanting to hurt myself and self-sabotage my life. But being on the other side with God at the center, therapy, amazing woman that God has blessed me with, my wife, that is my rock, that holds me down through thick and thin, doesn't judge me, helps me. It's a biblical thing. The Bible says there are helpers. They're here to help us to attain what we need to do. We're the head of the household. But a strong woman, it's one of the Bible verses, like she's more precious than rubies. I don't know the exact
for sure
thing, but I had to kind of rework my brain to understand that you got to stop trying to do this by yourself. Give it to God. Some days I have it, some days I don't. But same with podcasts. I love podcasts. Some days I have it, some days I don't. But I know that keeping God right here at the center for whoever's listening is the most important thing, because I'm nothing without him.
Nothing.
Yeah. And the experiences that life has given us, these tests, so to speak, have put us in a position to make better decisions and to lean closer to him, And then, Lord willing, with his grace, we're able to carve out a new path for our lives that is favored by him. And whatever we want, he can make it happen, but he knows the end of the story. We just have to show up, have faith, and please God. Because if we don't do those things, everything falls apart. I'm 100%. A big believer in that, man.
100%. Well said, Louis.
No.
Spoken like a true man of God.
Likewise. And I always ask this to people. I'm curious because, I know what my fall from grace was and how I got back connected to God. What was your moment in life where that fall of grace happened, where David said to himself, you know what, I can't live like this anymore?
So for me, I was raised in church, Louis. I don't know what your relationship or your background, with God is, but my mom was a very spiritual woman. I was born into a Pentecostal home, and if you know Puerto Rican Pentecostals,
my wife was a Puerto Rican Pentecostal,
right? So they're very serious and
very
they're
strict,
very strict, right?
Yeah.
Very serious, very very formal about their spirituality, which was one of the things that I struggled with. I always felt like, the Pentecostal lifestyle was extremely restricting. Right, because all my other friends, they were allowed to have an earring on and allowed to dress like this and, look like that and get a haircut like this. And my mom didn't allow me to do a lot of those things. And younger on, I would say I had a problem with that. I was really angry that I couldn't listen to the kind of music that my friends were listening to, or hang out with certain people, or stay out all times of night like my other friends could. But I understand now, as an adult, that my mother was trying to protect me and she was trying to instill godly values in me. So to answer your question, right, you asked, what kind of was what led me back to God? It was a lot of different things, a culmination of different things. I strayed away from being Christian, I'd say probably around the age of maybe 14, 15, for various different reasons, From a financial perspective, my family wasn't well off. I don't come from wealthy people. My parents were working class people, and my mom was a teacher. She worked for the New York City educational system.
God bless her.
And she was a smart woman, college graduate. I think the first college graduate in her family, if I'm not mistaken. Very educated woman, very smart. But teachers don't make a lot of money, so she was supporting the family and trying to do the best she could with us. And at a certain age, there were things that I wanted that we couldn't afford. And I looked to other things to try to get those things. And that led me, into street culture and I would say the pharmaceutical trade,
Gotcha. I understand.
for lack of a better term, because I don't want to glorify it. A lot of guys get into these conversations and the conversation seems almost like they're glorifying their past. I don't want to glorify it, but I want to lean into it and just say this about it. What happened to me in my life, to me and my brothers, was purely based on the fact that we grew up in a home where there wasn't any money.
Same
and
here.
Lack of resources, pushed us into what we were doing, be it right or wrong, right? So outside of your door, there are opportunities what opportunities are you going to lean into? What opportunities are you going to take? Right? When you look at yourself as a young man, as Louis, the young man, when you walk outside your crib, it's like, what's outside my crib? Who do I see? Who are the most successful people I see that I can reach out to and touch? Right?
Dealers.
And the people that I could reach out to and touch that had success, or rather what I thought, because it wasn't success.
Right.
The illusion of success.
The illusion, yeah.
Let me be clear. What the illusion of success was, nice vehicle, beautiful women, jewelry, nice clothes, were people who were involved in, in the lifestyle, in the trade.
Yeah.
So, I took to it like a fish to water. Unfortunately, I was good at it from a very early age. And that kind of challenged everything that I learned from a moral perspective growing up in a Christian home, because you have this 15 years of someone telling you, Papi, do right, don't do this, don't do that, the wages of sin is death. You know what I'm saying?
Your mom was hitting you over the head with it, man.
Yeah, listen, man. You go back to all the scriptures that you learn and you hear throughout your life, and it's like, Mom, this is just not true. This money feels good. This jewelry feel good. This car feel nice. This shit feels great.
Right.
Like, crazy? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, God don't want us to be poor. You feel me?
Right. So you kind of flipped it on. Yeah.
You start to come up with your own ideology. And that's where the danger is. I would say that was the biggest downfall for me, was I started to buy into my own ideology.
Wow, I see what you mean. It's almost like, and it's odd, right? Because it's almost a dichotomy if you look at it. Like, you came from all good upbringing, teachings, Christianity, Pentecostal, and you're here now at 14, 15, flipped, trying to tell the teacher, I know the answers that you thought you were teaching me my whole life. But no, it's rooted in money and greed and all this selfishness of vanity. You know what I mean?
I'll say this, Louis.
It's ironic.
I don't even know that it was greed. A lot of it was necessity.
Survival?
Not even survival, just necessity, things that you need. You need a car.
Yeah.
A car is not a luxury, You need a car to get around. You need some decent clothes. It's just, what are you willing to do to get it? Are you willing to sacrifice your morals and your Christianity to have it? Or are you willing to lean on God and say, Lord, show me a better way so that I can still have these same things but be blessed with your favor as well? Wow. Right? Because we could have, you see, having beautiful things, and this is where I thought Pentecostals went wrong. This is where I thought the Pentecostal faith went wrong. They teach you that you have to be so humble and meek, right? Or you get slapped, turn the other cheek. I don't believe in that ideology. Don't let me slap you, Louis.
Yeah.
If I slap you, punch me in the face. For real, bro.
Yeah. It's just
like, don't let nobody tell you that it's godly for another man to slap you and you turn your cheek. Right. These were things that were created to control people. That's mind control. Gotcha. Right? So there are a lot of things in the book. There are a lot of things in the good book that still to this day I struggle with. Right? But I also know that, I have to look at it from a spiritual lens, regardless whether I struggle it or not. Because I can give the challenges and the questions that I face in my Christianity to God. I can say, Lord, I'm struggling with this verse. Reveal this to me. Work in my heart. Soften my heart. Help me have a better understanding of this right here. But not to deviate from what I was saying, when you look at the Pentecostal faith and Christianity in general, a lot of what they teach you is about being on the bottom. That if you're Christian, you should be comfortable with being on the bottom.
Right.
And I feel like that's a bad way to teach Christianity, because our God is a God of riches. Our God is a God of prosperity. Our God is a God of wisdom. He's a God of abundance. He's a God of favor. He has more than you need.
100%.
He has more than you need. He's going to bless you with more than what you ask for, right?
Right.
So that ideology that we can just maintain and survive like this because our crown is in heaven and here on earth, we're to suffer and carry the cross. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in.
I'm in lockstep with you, man. Yeah, I understand.
I don't believe in that. I feel like right here, I want to see Louis riding in the Lambo, right here on earth. I want you to be blessed right here, bro. Likewise, when you pull up at my crib, I want you to jump out of Ferrari. Jump out that F1. Because the Lord has it. All this belongs to him. It's all his. You feel me? He's the King of Kings. You feel me?
Absolutely.
So everything that you want, you can still have it. And you can still serve God, and you can pull up in church, and you can jump out your Lamborghini and walk right into church. You don't have to drive a Honda to church. You feel me?
No, I feel you.
And that's like,
yeah.
And this is what I struggled with, but I feel like I went extreme with it. You feel me?
Extreme like how?
Extreme like I'll do anything to have it. I'll sacrifice my Christianity. I'll sacrifice my morality. I'll sacrifice what my parents taught me so I can have these things. That's where I went extreme with it. When I could have focused and been patient and chose a career that eventually would have gotten me those same things without, the tribulations and trials that I had to go through because I chose the wrong path to go get those material things. There's nothing wrong with wanting, nice things. There's something wrong with wanting them and getting them by any means.
By any means. Because it's also like a relentless, they say money's the root of all evil. I don't believe it is. I think being in love with money, having an undying love of money and possessions is the root of all evil. Because it's nice to have nice things. You know this. I mean, I like my watches. I like certain things. It doesn't define who I am. But I'm not gonna let that control me.
But it does make you a fly nigga.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? I looked at the sky door when I came in. It's not that it defines you, but
I don't think but also I to flip the coin on that, it's like I work hard, and God knows my heart, and I do believe in giving myself something for my hard work. It's not validation. Let's not get that twisted. It's not validation. It's I work hard. I'm a responsible adult. I'm a responsible husband. I'm a responsible father. I'm going to treat myself. It doesn't happen all the time.
No.
But when I'm able to do it, God bless.
Listen, man.
You know what I mean?
I was visiting this church when we first moved to Pennsylvania. I'm not going to say the name of the church so I could spare them the pain. I'm going to say this. I was driving my Porsche to church. I had a Porsche Panamera when they first came out.
What year?
This was a...
Oh, the Panamera is one of my favorite ones. The four-door?
The four-door. Four-door Panamera.
That was probably 2008?
This is
2010?
This is 2016.
Okay.
This is 2016.
They came out 10 years ago?
The
Panamera, the four-door joint?
The four-door joint came out in 2012.
Okay. But I knew it was around that time. That's when I started seeing it. I couldn't afford it. So.
Right. They came out in 2012, but I had the 2016. Oh, man.
Turbo.
So we riding the Panamera to church, me and my kids and my wife. We jumping out. And the pastor's wife was like, damn, who's driving a Porsche to church? I'm dead ass.
Wow.
I'm dead ass.
She said it outside or in the congregation?
She said she didn't know I was behind her, and she didn't know it was mine. She didn't know it was mine.
I got you.
And she didn't know that we were behind her. So, I hit the remote, we open the door, and we get in it. And she turns her head, and it just didn't sit well with me because why are we in the parking lot of the church worried about what other parishioners are driving? Why? Why are you concerned with what I or anybody else who comes to this church is driving? Bro, it just didn't sit well with my heart. And as a result, the Lord revealed to me, throughout the course of time that this was not the house of worship for me because a lot of jealousy and a lot of that was going on.
I see. It was a lot of, people just judging and...
Green-eyed monsters, bro. A lot of jealousy, Lewis. A lot of green-eyed monsters.
What do you think that comes from? Because, I mean, I get it. Listen, we're both God-fearing men, but to your point, yes, there's this stigma that you must give your tithes and make the pastor rich. I'm not saying every church is like this, so please don't take this as a shot at any church. But I feel that right now the zeitgeist in 2026 is make the church as much money as possible and the parishioners just have to be broke, deaf and blind. And I don't agree with that. To your point, I agree that you should be blessed with overabundance. But where do you draw the line that, why can't I have a Porsche and go to church? It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I just like something that's nice. I'm still a believer in God. Where is that blurred line in society today that in order to be a very God-fearing person, you have to not show riches or blessings that you've been able to get through God's favor?
Christianity has been poisoned with this prosperity gospel. Prosperity gospel
I agree.
has ruined the word of God, and it's tainted the faith, and Christianity in general as a whole is suffering from it. When you talk about pastors wanting you to tithe 10% and, you have to do this religiously, here's what I say about that. Give according, right? Give according to what your finances will allow you to give. Don't give 10% if you're going to be short on your mortgage, short on your car note, short on your children's tuition. God is a God of wisdom, bro, and he's a God of discernment. Use discernment. The pastor should not be living better than you. You should be living just as good as your leaders.
I agree.
They should not be living better than you. And I feel like to lean back into what I was just saying about why that leadership team had a problem with, me and my wife pulling up on a Porsche, I believe it was because they didn't have one.
So you feel it was more jealousy than...
It was complete jealousy and envy, man. And it's like, we're not here to look at what we're wearing when we go to church. This is a time for us to come worship, to come fellowship, and grow as Christians together. I come to church so I could lean into the word of God and I could leave better than when I came. But you can't do that if every 5 minutes you guys are, one, asking the congregation for money every 30 seconds, and then two, you guys are constantly looking down on the congregation if you feel they have something above what you think they should have. And that's where Christianity has been tainted to me.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, right? Because me and my wife, we were going to a church, and again, I won't mention the church's name, and I was being real facetious about this, but like I kid a lot. I joke. My wife knows I could be sarcastic, but there is truth to it. So the church we were going to, it was an announcement. We changed the name of the church. Starting next week, the church will be called blah, blah, blah. And I looked at my wife and I was like, damn, babe, this is like a money play. I feel like this has to do with taxes. This has to do with a write-off expense. This has to do with corporation. I don't know if this has to do because they're saying, oh, God has put on our heart to, call the church this now. I pray and hope that's the truth, but my skepticism has overcome my brain. And I tell my wife this, and my wife, she is, God bless her, man, like a Christian's Christian. Like she is a believer to the core. And, not to veer off, but, when you're talking about tithing, she used to always tell me, don't give what's not in your heart. So don't feel forced to give 10% just because it's 10%, because God knows your heart. So don't give X amount of money because you feel like you have to. Do it because you want to. Do it because God put it in your heart to do that. And if he doesn't put it in your heart to do that, then don't do it. Because then you're doing it for yourself, and that's selfish, and that's of the world. That's not of God, And
I feel like tithing is not necessarily just about finances and resources. Tithing is about your time. Tithing is about your time. Let's say, for example, your family doesn't have a lot of money, but every week you go clean the church. You make sure the church is spotless before service. You make sure after service you break the church down, you clean it. You make sure you go there twice a week, you clean the parking lot. You make sure the bathrooms in the church are clean. You make sure when there's an outreach mission, you're there, you're serving. That's tithing as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
You feel me?
You're giving your time to God.
100%. Man. Tithing is not just about finances and
she
resources.
Said the same thing, yeah.
But there's no set amount that I feel someone should be giving. Give what you can afford to give, and make sure you're taking care of your responsibilities at home and your family as well. It has to be within reason. And this is the problem, right, with faith. People think because you have faith, they want to take that word and they want to manipulate it and twist it and be like, because you're faithful and you have faith, you know what, Louis? I need you to give me 10%. So you make $200,000 a year. I need 10% of that. You feel me? Maybe you can't afford 10%. Maybe after taxes, you only make 120.
And then you have bills,
bro.
And then you have responsibilities.
Children. You have a wife. Come on, bro. Like,
it's very difficult, man. It's hard to manage that, It really is.
Not only it's hard to manage it, it's unrealistic. And I feel like our God is a God of understanding. And I've tapped into different men of God and different pastors, and I've heard different messages. And the pastors that, in my opinion, are really legit men of God, they don't feel like there's a number that's specific that you need to give in order to be in God's good graces. So, and these are men of God, men that I respect. So based on that, I have a different understanding.
I understand. And again, to put a cap on that, right? There's really no right or wrong way to have your relationship with God, right? Like, God bless the lady that was judging you for the Porsche. But you know what? If that's who you are, God bless you. I pray that God finds your way into your heart to see something differently. But who am I to tell you how to have a relationship with God, right? But what I do struggle with in this day and age, I want to get your opinion on this because I always go back and forth with my wife about this topic. I notice in New Age Christianity now, a lot of them are smoking weed. A lot of them are doing edibles.
This is an interesting question.
Right, but am I crazy? Because it's like I want to be a good person, but I'm gonna get high and alter my brain.
So,
what's your thought on that? Because I want to see your honest perspective of this debate that I've been going back and forth with.
So I feel like cannabis in itself is a plant. God is a perfect God. God made all the plants. It's how you use the plant that differentiates whether you're sinning or not sinning. Are you using the plant for escapism? Are you addicted to the plant? Or are you using the plant to make teas as a medicine? Because from a medicinal perspective, the cannabis plant can be used something like 355 different ways for many different diseases. So we have to look at it from a more intellectual lens and really think about it like this, right? If I tell you, you have a headache, why don't you take 2 of these Tylenols? Tylenol contains...
It's horrible.
Think about this. Tylenol contains... it contains forever chemicals. It's made with petroleum, right? Which is one of the base ingredients of Tylenol. Yeah. So when we think about that and we think about cannabis, the plant, what is better for your headache? Cannabis, smoking some cannabis or taking 2 Tylenols? What do you think? Yeah. What do you think God would prefer you to do? Which one did God make? Did God make Tylenol or did he make the cannabis plant?
He made the cannabis.
Exactly.
The Tylenol's man-made.
The cannabis plant is for your headache. That's what it was for. You have a pain in your leg. You can take painkillers, right? You can take morphine, right? One of the most dangerous, most addictive drugs in the world. Or you can have some cannabis. And cannabis can cure your pain as well, right? And it's much less addictive than morphine, right?
Yeah, morphine is...
So on a scale of 1 to 10, morphine would be a 50 and cannabis would be at like a 3 in terms of what's addictive. So we have to stop demonizing, right, what's not supposed to be demonized. And we have to look at it from a lens where it's like, if I look at this plant and all its different uses, why am I demonizing it? As long as you're not abusing it, it's not a sin. It's not a sin for you to have a glass of wine. It's not a sin for you to have a gin and tonic. It's a sin for you to get drunk.
Be a drunkard. Yeah.
You feel me? That's a sin. For you and your wife to go out and have dinner and share a bottle of wine, that's not a sin. For you and your wife to sit at home and share some cannabis, that's not a sin. Being addicted to it and doing every day and leaning on it and using it for escapism, that's a sin. So I'm going to sum it up for you like this. Cannabis in itself is not of the devil. It's not a sin. It's a plant. It's how you use it that dictates whether you're using it for good or evil. You get home from work, you have a migraine, fine, no problem, brother, smoke a joint. I prefer you smoke a joint than take 2 Tylenols.
Because Tylenol's going to give you dementia when you're 60.
But but because we have bought into this system and this ideology, right, that the plant that has been used by, first of all, Tainos have always used cannabis. We're Taino, we're Puerto Rican, yeah. Right? That's our indigenous culture, right? From an African, from an Afro-Latino, Caribbean perspective, we used it for many different things. We used it for teas, right? We used it for meditation. We used it for pain. So when you think about the cannabis plant, don't let anyone tell you that something that is indigenous to you, to your region and your people as a medicine is a sin or is evil. That's a lie of the devil. It's just not true, Louis.
That's true. No, I agree with you because now that you gave me that perspective, the key word that stuck out to me is escapism. I'm with you on that. I personally don't choose to smoke cannabis because I had a very addictive relationship with it. And now when I want to just relax, I have a nice cigar. That's what I do. I'll have a cigar maybe twice a month.
Which is also a plant.
Yeah. So I'll have that. But knowing what I went through with marijuana, I just couldn't go back to it. But what you said about escapism means a lot to me because I think that's the key. It's like, okay, I'm a God-fearing person, but I'm just going to smoke weed all day. If you're doing that for escapism and not being productive in your life,
it's a sin.
Yeah, you're not working in the way God wants you for your life. You're kind of putting a stop sign to the growth and evolution that you want to, that you're intended to have. So that was my whole question with that is.
And you got to remember, Louis, any substance can be abused.
Yeah.
You can abuse alcohol.
Caffeine.
You can abuse opioids. You can abuse caffeine. You can abuse food. Sugars can be an addiction, right? So it's all what perspective you look at it through and how you partake. I personally don't see a problem with cannabis.
Gotcha, man. No, I agree with you. As long as you, like I said, the escapism.
In and out of the faith. If you want to come home from work y no te siente bien, you got a headache, fuma. You know what I mean?
If it's going to relax you, but not put you in a state where you can't be who you are anymore and not handle your business.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I got you, Bobby. I got you. Man, you were you a straight A student?
I did really well in school.
Did you go to college?
I did.
Where'd you go?
So I went to community college.
Okay.
I went to Kingsborough in Brooklyn.
Kingsborough, okay.
I went to Kingsborough Community College.
What'd you major in?
Broadcast journalism.
There's the voice, viste. Wow, so you always had a itch or a passion for this, for broadcasting.
I had a passion for broadcasting. I thought initially one day I'd wind up like as a newscaster on the news.
Get out, man.
I did.
Wow.
I did. I thought I'd wind up on like Channel 4 or CBS or something. But
where did this come from? If you don't mind.
I always liked journalism as a child. I always was intrigued by watching the news, and watching how reporters told the story. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We're live on the scene where there's been a shooting here in the Bronx.
Check out the voice. There it is.
I always found that interesting. I found that intriguing. But to be honest with you, I wound up getting into music and falling in love with rap music as hip hop was, part of our lives, and it was basically happening around us. So, while I enjoy journalism, my passion for music and hip hop culture was stronger. Was stronger.
And when did you first get into hip hop?
My whole life, man. Because
also since you were young.
Yeah, I have an older brother. His name is Jose. Shout out to Jose. Shout out
Jose.
Shout out to the Delgado brothers. Shout out my brother Jose. Shout out my brother Eric. And my brother Jose went to school in Harlem. He went to a school. He went to a high school called Martin Luther King. He went to school with Dougie Fresh.
Wow.
Tito from the Fearless Four.
Busta Rhymes? Was Busta Rhymes in that same school?
No, Busta Rhymes went to Erasmus with Jay-Z.
Erasmus with Jay-Z. Got it. Okay, that's why I was confusing. Okay, go ahead.
But my brother went to school there, and he was always coming home with mixtapes early. Wow. Coming home with Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. You know what I'm saying? Like he was coming home with all these mixtapes, Dr. Rock and the Foursome D's, the Treacherous Three.
Wow, man.
So I was being exposed to early hip hop culture, from a very young age. So I just took to it like a fish to water. I really fell in love with it.
You fell in love with the art, right? And you fell in love with the words. But then when did you start to see, I can kind of do this?
So I started writing rhymes immediately. Like I was. While I was a good student, I was also a daydreamer. I was the kind of kid who would, I'd be drawing little graffiti men on my notebook.
I was doing the same thing, bro. It's weird, man.
Son, dead ass Louis. I'll be doing tags, drawing little graffiti dudes, writing rhymes. So at the end of the class, when it was time to hand in your assignment, my assignment wasn't done, but my teacher would come and grab my notebook, and I got a whole rhyme written.
Wow.
And she'd be like, get up and say it for the class if this is what you focused on.
Oh,
you know what I
snap.
mean?
She said that to you?
And I'd be
Did
like,
you,
yeah.
Did you do it? Did you rap it?
Of course.
Do you
I'd be
remember
like-
the rhyme?
I don't remember the rhyme.
I mean,
no,
I don't remember my first rhyme either.
you
I'm
know,
always
but-
curious to.
But from a very early age, I was interested in music, man.
Dope, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dope. So wow, I see so many, like, it's so funny, man, and it's so weird. And I want to bring it back before we go forward. How, again, I resonate with you because I came from nothing. I came from a single parent household. I don't know if you had your dad and your mom. Did you have both parents?
I had both parents.
Okay, you had both parents. But still, no pot to piss in, not a window to throw it out of, right? Same kind of thing with me. My dad was a man from the streets. He was a drug dealer, in and out of prison. Never really had my father present. But I had all these gifts, just like I see you had all these gifts: broadcasting, rapping, articulation, graffiti, tagging up, etc. And you correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to see if we have this in common. I gravitated towards rap and remember, I'm a little younger than you, so my coming of age was like, God, when I first heard Reasonable Doubt in my school bus in '96.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And when I heard Onyx, oh my God, when I heard Onyx and I saw the Timberland boot on the CD cover, I just wanted to be like them, you know? And it was like taboo to, cause you know, back the and I couldn't say it in front of my mom, so I would wait till my mom go away and just be screaming the word. It was just so rebellious and so liberating, so free.
Right.
But I looked up to these men, Jay-Z, DMX, Nas, Mobb Deep, CNN, I mean, you name it, as father figures to help me navigate and push me to bring my gifts to the forefront. Is that something you looked at with these artists growing up? Like they're like male role models to you?
So we're from different eras in rap. I probably got like 10, 15 years on you. I'm an old man. You're a...
Oh, come on. I thought dude, when you told me your age, I was like, there's no way. No way. You look amazing, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. I
you know, where's the
appreciate that.
fountain of youth?
Oh, man.
Is it in PA somewhere?
I don't know, but...
It's the wife. The wife is pointing at her. She keep you straight.
You're 100%. But I'll say this. We're from two different eras in rap music. My era, we were creating it.
You were the inception.
So there wasn't that many people to look up to, if that made sense.
Got it.
I had heroes. There were groups that were happening and music was taking place all around us. But really, we were part of the culture. Like, hip hop is part of your culture. That's why you're so drawn to it. So if you think about it, right, the fashion perspective of it, the verbal part of it, the artistic drawing part of it, the
DJing.
dancing, the moving, the DJing, all of it has something to do with you from if you really think about it from a cultural perspective. Like, this is cultural for you.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
This is cultural for you. This is Afro-Caribbean culture. This is African culture. This is our culture. Our culture. This is Taino culture. It's all these different cultures mixed together that make up hip hop. So it's like,
it's a melting pot.
Yeah, man. So it's like, for me, I was drawn to it because it's like, wow, I can put words together and tell a story through these words, or I can make people feel a certain way from something that I say. That's what I noticed about hip hop. Like, when I was listening to the Fat Boys and really understanding like what they were doing. This dude is beatboxing.
Yeah.
This dude is rhyming. Like, yo, what's going on here? He's saying this, he's saying that. What he's saying resonates with me. We talk like that over here where I live in my neighborhood. We like to dress like that. These guys look like this is me on TV.
It was crazy. Yeah.
This is a fat kid that looks like me. This is a fat Puerto Rican dude rapping. This is me. Like, I found myself. Like, this has something to do specifically with me. So that to me was what sucked me into it.
I see what you mean. It was a cultural.
It's you.
It's you. It's
you're
like
looking at yourself.
They represented us.
You looking in the mirror.
Yeah, you look in the mirror, and it made you want to be a part of it. I want to get into that show.
100%.
I want to get into that club. Whatever they're doing, I want. For me, you know, like I said, I was super young, like listening to H-Town. Remember H-Town back in the like R&B, like,
Sure.
And then it went from that to the Onyx, and then Onyx to the Jay-Z's to the Nas's. But when Big Pun came, you want to talk about someone that I was 300 pounds in high school, man. And I fancied myself as an artist when I used to do my raps. I used to rap mad fast. So when I heard that in the middle of Little Italy, I was like, what is this?
Ready for war, Joe? How you want to blow this spot?
Dirty cops. I don't give a shit if they murder some what. So it's like
my record.
But they looked and talked like us. And nothing against, there's Afro, there's Caribbean, but this is Puerto Ricans doing this.
100%.
So for me, it was a sense of pride
100%.
and it was a sense of connection where I was like, okay, no, I liked Reasonable Doubt. I liked, Illmatic. I liked all but Capital Punishment, we can do this.
That was a good album.
I was in. You know
Capital
what I mean?
Punishment was a really good album. It was a strong,
wasn't it?
Strong
It's 24 songs.
It's a strong album.
You know how hard it is to make a 24 song album? I mean, get it. Back then, skits were in.
But it's hard enough to do 10 songs.
Yeah, and keep your attention.
10 solid songs. Come on. Capital Punishment was a solid project, man.
Beware?
Solid. Crazy.
How you start an album like that?
Crazy.
Boom, boom.
Crazy.
I gave you fair warning.
Beware.
And then you put Black Thought on there.
Crazy.
Like that was the most craziest chemistry, artistry I ever.
Crazy
Des Leches.
Crazy
like there was
project.
just so much. I mean, we could go on a tangent with this, but
and I not to deviate off of pun, but props to Fat Joe, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I hear people front on Fat Joe all the time as an artist, as an MC. I'm gonna say this. If we just are talking about catalogs, how many rappers can you name with as many radio hits and platinum songs as Fat Joe?
yeah,
How many artists can you name?
Besides Big Pun, as far as in the Latin world, he was known for that.
Yeah, but Joe has way more hits than Pun.
Yeah,
you feel me? Pun only had that. Pun only had that project to lean on. Joe has had a 30-year...
Baby was good too, though.
Joe has had a 30-year career of hits with R. Kelly, hits with Lil Wayne, hits with Rick Ross. Like, any time in history, you could go and pick a Fat Joe hit from the beginning of his career, where he started with Relativity, to where he is now.
Even Flojo. Flojo was great.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what Flojo.
That's when he was back on Relativity. And, whether you like him or you don't think he's lyrical or he's not the best MC or not, Fat Joe has hits. So respectfully, Fat Joe, shout out to you.
No, shout out to Fat Joe, because I understand what you're saying. Like, he's kind of like, I don't want to say a chameleon, but he was able to like adjust to every era in hip hop. Like the Fat Joe from Relativity
to where he is now,
to not even now, to We Thuggin', to Loyalty Fat Joe, to Make It Rain Fat Joe, to All the Way Up Fat Joe, to Lean Back Fat Joe. My man was able to carve a lane in every era. Every era.
He's been relevant since he came out.
And that's hard to do.
Come on, it's almost impossible.
That's one of the hard. Jay-Z is probably the only one I could say that was on that level of always dropping something. I mean, he hasn't dropped anything since 444, but besides that, he always had something relevant in the airwaves.
You got Jigga Man, you got Nas, you got Fat Joe, you got a lot of dudes that have been able to transition, but still, that list is not that long.
It's not that long.
Maybe there's 15, 20 dudes that are able to do it consistently on that high level.
It's a very high level, man.
Yeah, it's a high level, man.
You put Drake in that?
Drake is not old enough. He hasn't been around enough.
I mean, he's 16 years already, I think.
That's not long.
What's long?
Yeah, we just said Fat Joe's had a 30-year
30
career.
years, yeah.
You're talking about Jigga Man. Jigga Man's got a 35-year career. You're talking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about Nas, 30-year career, 35-year career. So, Drake, he's got room to grow.
He's halfway there.
He's got room to grow.
Same with Kendrick?
Kendrick's got room to grow. They're not there yet.
They're not there yet.
They're not there yet. Maybe for a younger generation, it might be like, I lean on Drake as one of my GOATs. But for me, his catalog is not there yet.
I hear you. I mean,
not yet. He's got to transition. He's got to go through a couple of more eras. He's got to transition.
I feel
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if 5 years from now, 7 years from now, if you got a #1 Drake hit, okay. This guy,
and we have some, yeah.
This guy cemented his career. 7 to 10 years from now, if you've got a #1 Kendrick Lamar hit, 10 years from now, if we got a #1 Kendrick Lamar hit, okay, Kendrick has cemented himself. And same thing with J. Cole. J. Cole is nice, but J. Cole, people called him out his name and he didn't accept the challenge.
He lost he didn't respond to the battle.
That's a big. So because hip hop has always been so competitive, it's a blood sport. Mm-hmm. It's a blood sport. I can't call you out and you be like, nah, I don't want no smoke with Castro. I don't want no beef. Whether me and you are cordial here or not, if I go in the studio and make a record about you, you got to drop one. You got to drop a diss record on me too.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's part. It's
and if I call you out and be like, yo, meet me at Barrio BX, we gonna have a battle. Me and you got a battle.
They were battling in the park. Bro,
Slick
that's
Rick,
what I'm saying. Like, that's
can't...
where it started. The 4 pillars of hip hop: DJing, rapping, graffiti, breakdance, and which is now in the Olympics, and battling. And this is a hot take. Jay-Z just said the other day he feels like battling should be taken out of the equation.
He said he doesn't know if there's a place for it in hip hop.
Do you think that's BS? Because knowing Jay-Z as a competitive artist, how can he say, I don't believe that rappers should battle anymore?
His perspective is different now. He's a billionaire, right? He's in charge of global corporations, and the buttons that he presses are pressed for him, are pressed to benefit him. Battling at his age wouldn't benefit his career. He gains nothing from sparring with another artist who says something about him.
Yeah.
So from that lens, from his perspective, yeah, it makes sense, of course. I'm a billionaire. I sleep every night next to Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like, we living in one of the biggest, most expensive homes in Los Angeles. Sure, for me, you say something about me, I'm going to let it roll off me like a raindrop because I don't have time at this age. But if you're not on his level and you're a mid-tier to low-level artist, when somebody calls you out, you got to spar.
You got to spar.
And J. Cole is not on that level.
He didn't do it.
But
I don't think he's built like that.
I think he is.
But I
think he's built for it. I think he's built for it. I just feel like he feels it's more important to navigate the art space because he's a creative dude. He's not really an aggressive dude. He likes to come at it more from a creative perspective. But he's always talking about battling niggas in his raps and always talking about he rap better than this nigga and that nigga. Like, nigga, if
and then when he got put to the test, he failed.
He didn't. Well, we don't know if he failed. He didn't accept the challenge.
Well, he dropped that record on that, what was it called? I forgot what it was called.
He dropped that one joint. I know what you're talking about.
But then he took it down.
Yeah.
But then someone like Kendrick, for example, who's just as creative and is not really street per se, he's a very extroverted, creative guy, destroyed 2 artists in one.
This is how I feel about it, man.
See, now you got 2 hip hop heads in the building.
This is how I feel about it.
And we're going to get back to you in a second. I just want to, you know.
Kendrick is a dope MC. I like Kendrick. And I say this respectfully. I say this shit respectfully. Drake and Kendrick are in 2 different lanes. If they dislike each other personally, no problem. They went at it. Based on your personal preferences and your personal taste, is like, okay, Kendrick won this battle, Drake lost. Or Drake won this battle, Kendrick lost. A lot of people, from what I hear, because I wasn't as tuned in as everyone else, from what I hear, say that Kendrick won or, you know, he got the best of him with that record, They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us, to me, was not a traditional battle record.
It wasn't, no.
It wasn't a traditional battle record. I don't feel like it necessarily tainted Drake's career, and I don't feel like it said Kendrick is the bona fide clear winner of this. To me, they're still a great space. None of them really bothered each other. Not like when Nas and Jay-Z battled in the Ether drop. Nas ethered Jay-Z. Like, he annihilated this nigga.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's not like when KRS-One, you know what I'm saying, ate up MC Shan, you know what I'm saying, with the bridges over. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like when KRS-One just annihilated that nigga. So it's like, rap to me is about, you gotta leave this dude bloodless. Like, you drained all the blood out this nigga's body. And Drake didn't get bodied to me.
I think, man, I don't know if I can agree with that. Drake didn't get bodied.
Not to me.
I mean, I'm not basing this off of just that one record. They not like, but I mean, meet the what was that called? Meet the Grams.
Yeah, but maybe to younger guys like you, because the blood sport part of it has been watered down. So I feel like niggas in general have gotten a lot softer. Like, your generation is a lot softer than mine.
Do you think?
Because we was killing each other every day.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
So, street life to us was way more dangerous and way more different. So we expect more from our era of rappers. We expect more from people from our generation of rap because the violence was greater at that time. So even from a musical perspective, I expect that to translate through the art. I also expect the violence to translate into the music. Kind of like when Biggie got killed as a result of some East Coast, West Coast beef. And at the same time, Pac met that same similar kind of fate. I'm from that era.
That was the
so because I'm from that era, I expect niggas to body you all the way, nigga. So you feel like Kendrick went so far with his music that he bodied Drake? He didn't body Drake. Drake is still around.
What would happen if they met each other in person?
Them niggas see each other all the time. They rich.
You think they hang out together?
I don't think they hang out, but they see each other all the time.
Well, honestly, let's be and I get your point because I'm also a purist in the form of like even though we're about 10 years apart or what have you, but growing up in high school, middle school, like your rep was your rep. Facts. You had to fight. After school, 3 o'clock, we're gonna bang. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
If
this shit's going down.
If you wore some Jordan 9s, 8s, 7s, 6s, 11s, get ready to fight for them because someone's gonna try to test you.
100%.
That's where I'm from. Okay,
bro.
And back then it was a rep. Like you're like the low lives, for example. Like you couldn't wear polo on a train if you didn't have a crew.
Come out that polo.
You was quick.
Come out that polo.
Quick, mongoose. This is back when I was on mongooses. Give me that bike. Give me those. That's the era.
I was the king of stealing bikes.
So you understand?
Nobody had more bikes than me.
Everybody was food.
Nobody had more bikes than me.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
this is what I'm saying, and that's why I say I don't feel like Kendrick annihilated Drake. I felt like it
was cute.
It was a fair fight to me. It was a fair fight. It wasn't a dirty battle. It was a fair fight. Like it was whatever. Like it wasn't like a Nas Jay-Z. Like
that was an amazing battle.
Yeah, it wasn't that type of thing.
And listen, I know Jay-Z messed up with condoms in the baby seat, but this is also an epic debate, and this will be the last one. I want to get back to you. Everybody thinks that Irv Gotti trash that Jay-Z made was like the direct response to Ether, which it was, but Blueprint 2. Come on, you can't front on Blueprint 2.
No, the takeover?
That record, no, that record, Blueprint 2.
Oh, you can't front on that.
That
shit hard.
And your little homie Jungle is a garden to me. What's the problem, B? You're not as hard as me. Nigga, hard as we are. ROC. I mean,
that was hard.
Oh.
That was hard.
But Ether was a bomb.
That was hard, but I don't know if you remember the Hot 97 interview where they did the battle of the records and Angie Martinez played Ether and everybody called up and was like Jay-Z got bodied and how he bitched up on the radio. After he bitched
that was after the Irv Gotti record.
After he bitched up on the radio, you knew Nas took it.
Because he said, my mom told me not to do that record and release it because it's not right.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
Nigga,
I get it. That all right. So in the grand scheme of things, and me being a Hov fan, I agree Jay-Z lost that battle. But he didn't lose the war. None of them lost anything. They're one of the most successful artists to this day.
Listen.
It was just a great moment in hip-hop.
Listen. Jigga Man tried to take advantage of this nigga when he was down, kick him when he was down. He thought Nas was pussy. Nas proved to the world he's far from pussy. That's all it was. It was a nigga sleeping on you. It's like a nigga think, oh, Lewis is smaller than me. I'm going to take advantage of you. A nigga like me, a big nigga, and you knock me out. That's all it was. Yeah. Like, yo, I'm not pussy.
But then when Nas came back,
Nas was like, yo,
he hooked him.
Nas was like, yo, I'm not pussy, bro. I'm not pussy. And to me, it changed the legacy. Because had Jay-Z won that battle, he'd no doubtably, hands down, be the greatest rapper of all times. I feel like the fact that he lost that battle leaves it open for debate.
Yeah.
Nigga, who's the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas? You feel me? It leaves it open for debate.
Are you a Nas fan?
I love them both the same for different reasons. But I am a Nas fan, I am a Jay-Z fan, I'm a Biggie fan. I love all three of them the same. Mm-hmm. But even above those three, and I said this on my podcast, I put Rakim above those three. I put the God MC above those three. None better than Rakim.
Never had to curse.
Never had to curse. And then also some of the things that he says, still to this day when I listen to them, they're new again, and I have to hyper-analyze them.
Yeah, he's like a teacher.
And these are records that were recorded 40 years ago. Oh my God, yeah. This guy's in his 60s. You know what I'm saying? I could listen to Follow the Leader right now and be like, damn, bro, like, what?
I listen to the Juice right now.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's timeless records, man. Oh God, bro. I mean, yeah, I guess when it comes to hip hop, right? Just like we said in the beginning of the podcast, how you were imperfect, you're still evolving. Hip hop is always going to be evolving. Unfortunately, for me now, just how you feel, I don't feel like I listen to music at the gym 2 hours a day. And if you go through my playlist, it's a lot of stuff from the 90s and the early 2000s and late 80s. After that, maybe a speck here and there.
I listen to a lot of obscure artists that nobody listens to.
Like who?
So I like UFO Fave. You fuck
that
with him?
sounds, yeah, that's a Fat Joe's artist.
He's not Fat Joe's artist necessarily, but he fucks
UFO
with Fat
Fave.
Joe.
I've heard of him. He's a young cat, right?
Yeah, he's a young.
How is he? I never heard of the music, but I heard of him.
Yo, Fave, shout out, nigga. I fuck with you. No,
he's
UFO,
a beast?
Nah. I fuck with UFO Fave. Fuck with you. You're gonna like him. He's good.
I'm gonna
He's
check him
talented.
out. I listen
fuck
to
with
Stove
him.
God Cooks.
I like Stove God.
He's dope.
I like
Stove God is dope.
Yeah, yeah.
If you talk, go ahead. I'm sorry, let me cut you off.
I like Stove God. I listen to an artist formerly known as Adolf the Assassin, now known as Aguilar the Don. You listen to Aguilar?
Aguilar the Don. No, I've heard of him. No, I have to.
He's Puerto Rican.
He's Puerto Rican. Was he part of Purple City?
Yeah.
I think he was. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Aguilar, yo.
Damn, Aguilar the Don.
Shout out to Aguilar. Shout out to Adolf. He on tour
Purple City.
He's on tour right now. Aguilar, he been dropping fire for a couple years now, straight like consistent shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna see. That's my problem. Is that I'm so stuck in my bubble. Like when I love something, I love it. And I used to do music too, like you. So getting out of that headspace, I just gravitate towards what's familiar to me. And then between that, I like Griselda. I love Griselda
because I'm still making music.
Oh, okay.
I listen to a lot of new shit. I like to see what's trending, so I'm not doing it.
I see. You want to go left.
If that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
I like to see what's trending, so I'm not doing it. So I listen to a lot of artists that are on the left. And I like to kind of stay out of what's being played on Spotify and
Same here.
these DSPs, because I feel like, and there's nothing wrong if you're having success in the mainstream. It's not like I'm one of these underground purists. I'm not. I love some mainstream dudes too. But, for me, like when I'm creating, I like to listen to what nobody's listening to.
I like that. Yeah, because, right now, what's out right now that's oversaturated, to me, I can't listen to it.
And plus, you're going to hear that anyway.
It doesn't inspire me.
And plus, you're going to hear it anyway, whether you like it or not. When you go to the club, that shit's going to come on.
Yeah.
When you turn the radio on in the car, it's going to come on. So for me, I don't need to listen to that all the time. I like to kind of go off the beaten path and find some artists that no one is listening to. And I also like that exclusive feeling of like, you don't know about this.
Yeah. That's one of the best. Like, when you're a real music head, when back in the day, this is before internet, you had the exclusive record from a mixtape or something, and you played it first for your homies. Like, that feeling is like euphoria. Like you can't replace that. That's a feeling of like, I'm the man.
I like Gorilla Nims too.
Gorilla Nims, yeah.
I like Gorilla Nims.
But he breathes that old school, like
he does. He got that old school energy, and his music is off the beaten path. He's not trying to be commercial. Whatever he does, he's doing it because he likes to do it.
Yes. He does his own. He's like a new age Action Bronson. Yeah. In my opinion. You know what I mean? Like big dude, could rap. But he's in his lane.
He's just doing him.
And he's doing him, yeah. And those are the rappers I gravitate toward, like even the Griselda boys, because
Master Ace got a bunch of new shit that's fire. Really? Nigga. Like, yo, this nigga Master Ace still rapping like he's fucking 15.
Come on.
Master Ace is talented, man. So it's a lot of artists from that golden era that are still making music that people sleep on. Sadat X. I had Sadat
X on the show, yeah.
I had Sadat. I had Master Ace on the show. All this shit Sadat X dropped this year, fire. All this shit. Master Ace is on tour right now. He's going back overseas.
They're going back with Bone Thugs, right?
I don't know if Master Ace is going out with Bone Thugs, but I know he's going overseas, and he just got back from overseas. And Master Ace music, man, what he's been putting out over the course of the past, I would say 10 years, like his catalog is untouched, but people just don't check for him.
Yeah, you're telling me that now. And again, it's because I just been in my bubble, like just listening to what I was used to listening to. But I'm getting that feeling again of like going and checking.
You about to start digging in the crates.
You know why it is? I stopped rapping. over 10 years ago. So
I'm still making music. Yo, shout out to The Real Cover. We're in the studio right now. You already know. Umbrella Studios in the Bronx. Stand up, BX. Cover. What up, nigga? I'm coming.
You dropping an album?
Yeah. I got some new shit coming for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, nigga.
Man, so you got the podcast, you got the album dropping, you're a jack of all trades, like I said, man. How do you manage all that?
Well, first and foremost, right, you say jack of all trades. I'll say this. These are all things that I've always been doing creatively.
Mm-hmm.
I've been making music. I've been an entrepreneur. I've always had a passion for broadcasting. So these are things that to me are natural. So it doesn't feel like I'm doing a lot. It feels like I'm doing me.
You're just doing you, yeah. And you're comfortable in that space.
Yeah, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
But to answer your question, where I'm at now with it is like, I'm getting older. I'm on my legacy run. If I were to die tomorrow, next year, the year after, God forbid, Lord, give me a long life, give me health, Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if, God forbid, something were to happen to me, I want to leave these pieces of art behind where you can be like, oh, wow, this is what David was like. Listen to this. I can get a good perspective from watching his podcast. I can get a good understanding from watching that conversation with him and Lewis. I can listen to this music and watch these videos and learn about him. I can read his book and I can understand where he was coming from. I can wear this hoodie he dropped, or I can wear this line that he put out. And I want to leave all these pieces of me behind. Mm-hmm. So for me, this is a legacy run.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I'm in my 50s. If God gives me health,
man,
and I can go till I'm 60, 65, I'll
60, 65. People are living to 100 now.
I mean, in terms of me,
Okay.
I mean, no.
Look, your wife is like, you better tell him.
No. I mean, in terms of me putting out creative projects.
Okay. I thought you meant like I'm fam.
I don't know that I'm 65 or 68 and I'm still going to want to rap or still going to want to create fashion or still going to want to podcast. But right now where I'm at, I feel healthy enough and I feel inspired enough. I feel creative enough to still do it. So while the Lord has blessed me with these talents that I feel I still have, I want to use them now.
I hear you. I think you define the generation. Hip hop just turned 50, right? A couple years ago, right? So we're not used to having an art
According
form.
to Coke La Rock, which I had on the show as well. I don't know if you saw the Coke La Rock.
No, I didn't see the Coke La Rock one.
According to Coke La Rock, hip hop older than 50.
What was his take on it?
Probably 60 years old.
60?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when you get to that part of the history, right, it's almost like who said what.
It's jaded, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's jaded. So we could say circa 50, 60, right?
Yeah.
But this is an art form that said was never going to last, and now we inspire the culture. We press the buttons in society.
The world would be dead if it wasn't for hip hop.
Yeah.
There would be no music business. Urban culture has carried urban fashion. Urban culture has carried this world so far. Without it, the fashion industry would be dead. The music industry would be dead. Hollywood would be dead.
Yeah, they're the tasters. They're not the tasters.
The tastemakers.
The tastemakers. That's what I meant to say.
The most important pieces of art. The most important pieces of art that have been consumed in the past 50 years have come out of hip hop culture. You're talking about Basquiat.
Yep.
You're talking about Kanye West. You're talking about Jay-Z. You're talking about some of the most creative, inspiring fashion lines. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're talking about Supreme. You're talking about some of the biggest things. You're talking about Bape. You're talking about Carl Kanai. You're talking about Walker Wear. You're talking about Fat Farm. You're talking about all these things that hip-hop culture has spawned into this world.
Averex.
Without hip-hop, right? Without hip-hop, right? All these things would be irrelevant.
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
Yeah. When I was in middle school, the only reason I brought a pair of Carl Kanai boots was because Biggie had them. If I didn't see Biggie with those Carl,
you wouldn't even want them.
And I was hawking my mom, I'm, please, I want it with the little patch that says Kanai on it. It's right there at the store on Broad Street in Elizabeth. Please, let's go. And she brought them, and I was souped up with these Carl Kanai. Why? Because Biggie wore them. I would have never bought those boots if I didn't see Biggie wearing them.
The influence is strong, man.
The influence is strong, man. And the reason I'm saying all this is because now you represent a mature era in hip hop where it's like, I can drop an album when I'm 60. I can drop an album when I'm 70. There's no more rules. Back, it used to be a young man's game. But now the evolution of hip hop is so wide and so broad that you can have a space for mature rap. They should have contemporary mature rap. You can have young rap. You can have drill rap. You can have whatever. But it's still under the umbrella of hip hop.
So artistically, and I'll I don't know what your take is on this, but I'm pretty sure you have a good understanding of what I'm about to say right now. Chronological age has nothing to do with the expiration date of your talent. Your talent as an artist, Lewis, as a rapper, never goes away. If you was rapping in the 2000s and you was dope, you can do it now.
You do it now.
As a matter of fact, you got to pull up. You got to jump on my album.
I would be honored.
As a matter of fact, you got to pull up and jump on this album.
Don't hype me up, bro.
Because I'm putting a battery in your back, because from an artistic perspective, you still have more to say. I can see it in you. I can see it in you. I see a lot of creativity in you. I see a lot of talent in you. You have many talents. You're a man of many talents, a man of many facets. Why just now podcasting has to be it for you? You don't love music anymore? You don't love making it anymore?
Yeah, no, it's funny you say that, because I struggle with the thought of, the intro to my podcast is me. The song that plays at the beginning of every podcast, that's me. Don't ever go, never leave my side. Passion's all I have. Courage is my drive. And if I lose it all, I would put it back together. I wouldn't have composure to get it back together. I don't want closure. This book can't be over. I could write a chapter in a second. I expose you. Tell you my problems. I brag about success.
Bars.
You're always there when I'm down and I'm stressed.
Bars.
My mind is a thought away. I be in outer space, but sometimes it's just a throwaway. But either way, it never goes away. Through rejections and comments suggested, you stay manifesting. I never lose a step. I gain about 50. I break through the wall steadily and quite swiftly. I never break my spirit. I'm a self-starter. Don't ever let me go, passion. I need you, mama. That verse is my love letter to my passion, saying don't leave me no matter what.
See what I'm saying? You've got a lot more to do. And that it's up for you to say, when it's time for you to put your hat back inside the music game. And it's not about you blowing up or being famous.
Yeah, it's not about that. No,
it's
just
that shit.
It's creativity.
Nigga, you have a house, you have a wife, you have kids, you have everything you need, thank God. You got food to eat, clothes on your back, car to drive. Everything that you need, you have. Now, you doing it is solely about your creative expression and what you have to say and your opinion and your objectives. That's what it's about for you now. So think about it.
I think God put you in here for a reason, man, because it's been something that, again, it's like, you ever seen, are you a Rocky fan?
I am.
You seen part 6?
Shout out to Sly Stone.
Yeah, it's the man, bro.
Come on, man.
You remember Rocky 6?
Of course.
When he was really old and he wanted to fight, and he was just telling Uncle Paulie, is there something left in the basement, I just I feel it, it's just her, it's like, it's right there. Like, sometimes you get that. Sometimes I get that.
Nah, listen, man. You got more to say, Lewis. Make some music, man. Seriously, make some music. You got more to say.
I appreciate that. And I'm definitely going to take it under advisement. And I'm really thankful for you sharing that, man. Seriously.
Nah, for real.
But this is about you, so I don't want to keep talking.
Nah.
But you're an inspiration because of the fact that you're still doing the art. And you're a father, husband, entrepreneur, podcaster. Like, you're doing everything. And you, like I said, it's the reason why I even reached out to you was because I seen something when I saw your podcast, and I was like, man, this guy has talent. He has a gift for speaking, but ultimately you have a drive and a passion. And I can only pray when I'm in your shoes, 10, 13 years from now, when I'm your age, to still have that belief and passion, because it's very inspiring to me that you have that after all this time. And it's like a fire that's ever glowing. How do you freaking keep that going? How do you wake up every day, Mr. Delgado, and just say, you know what, I'm going to give it all I got?
I just feel like when we leave this planet, we should leave empty. You should not have left any stone unturned or any passion that you wanted to pursue, without at least giving it a shot, giving it a try. Podcasting, when they first started to pop up, I thought, hey, this is an interesting way to approach journalism. You got to, be yourself and have conversations with interesting people or interesting artists or people that resonated with you in your past or people that you look up to, artists that you respect, or just people like yourself that I find interesting, right? Men of stature like yourself. So for me, from that perspective, it's like, why not? Why wouldn't I try it? Why wouldn't I do it? I have something to say. I have an opinion. I feel like my opinion matters. So there's that. And then when you think about music, I've been doing music since I'm a child.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I stop now? I still have the strength. I still have a voice. I still have talent. My talent hasn't expired. Why wouldn't I continue doing music? As far as being an entrepreneur, we don't like working for other people. Guys like us just don't do it. We just don't like that. Like, so, you know, it's always been attractive to try to make it on my own and try to make things that I have in my head, my idea, successful. So all those things combined, it's just like, I feel like while you're here, while you have the strength and you have the health on this earth, yo, go for it. Go for your dreams. You know, your dreams are not going to expire when you're 54. You're still going to have dreams that you may have not yet accomplished. Why not continue trying to accomplish them? Keep going, man. Keep going, man. You got get rich or die trying, right? Not to be cliche, but it's not only about the money. It's like also like, you know, continue putting out your creative work, because you never know when one of those creative works is going to turn into a huge success. You have to plant the seeds. Mm-hmm. The seeds have to get planted.
It's 100% true,
man.
And
if the seeds never grow, you know what? I lived the life that I enjoyed.
No regrets.
No regrets. I lived the life that I enjoyed.
Doing what I enjoy doing, dying in that space, knowing that I gave it what I got.
Correct.
And that's something me at my age now, I'm 42, and I'm just, you know, obviously with a lot of therapy. I've been going to therapy for like the last 5 years. It's really opened up my mind.
Which is dope. And I want to ask you about that, right?
Yeah, please.
You saying that you've been going to therapy. I feel like in our culture, it's so taboo for a man, especially from a male perspective, to be like, I need therapy, or I'm struggling in my head, I have a mental issue, or I'm not doing well from a mental perspective. I feel like my mental health is suffering or it's poor. What gave you the strength, and what gave you, you know, the understanding that you knew you needed to go get therapy? Because I feel like men in general, from all generations, your age, my age, we all struggle with that. It's like a taboo. It's like a no-no for you to be like, hey, man, I'm struggling mentally.
It's a beautiful question, man.
What made you comfortable enough to want to go seek help?
I see you in your podcast bag.
Sorry.
I see you in your podcast. You try to slide that in, boy. Game recognized game. You looking familiar. You know what I mean? No, but I appreciate the question. And I'll be happy to answer it. Yeah, so I kind of had this thought right now as you were saying that. And I guess the best way to describe it is, if your phone is malfunctioning and it's not working correctly, you can't call your wife, you can't call your homie, you can't call your family, you can't be connected to the people you love, right? So your phone is malfunctioning. It needs to get rewired. That's how our brains are. So your first, and I learned all this, you know, before when I got into therapy, but I'll give you the reason why I got into therapy. I didn't like the person I became. I became a hater. I became jealous. I envied other people's successes. And I've never been like that.
Damn, I don't see that in you.
Okay, but
that's what's crazy.
But this is me like shedding everything and being 100% honest. It would get me angry to see other people succeed, and I feel like, oh, I can't reach that. So I wasn't a troll. I wasn't like Twitter fingers. It was just my brain telling me,
in your head,
you're not good. What makes this person better, et cetera.
Internal demons.
Yeah,
you were fighting internal demons, right?
And that turned into a alcohol issue and a weed issue, abusing food. I was really heavy. I was overweight. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't taking care of my phone, so to speak, me. And I had this come to Jesus moment, and I was in the bathroom, and I just, God, and I said this plenty times on the podcast before, so sorry if you guys heard this already. First time ever in my life, I didn't want to live. And I'm not cut from that cloth. I'm a scratch, crawl, and break every wall that I get through to get to the next level. And for the first time in my life, I didn't want to scratch and break through the wall. And I said, no, this isn't normal. And thank God, I met a client that put me in contact with the therapist that I have today. God bless you, Carla. And I remember the first time I was supposed to meet her, I fronted on her. I didn't even show up.
You didn't show up.
She called me upset. She was heated. She was like, don't you ever do that again. I'm trying to help you because you need help. Please show up. I said, I'm sorry. I wasn't ready to face those demons that were in the closet of my brain for so many years. But I said, let me do it. And I went in there. 30 minutes into the therapy session, I'm crying my eyes out. And I'm talking about like ugly cry. Like, think about an overstuffed closet that you just keep throwing stuff into, and one day the door breaks and everything falls on top of you. That's what it felt like. But now therapy is you looking at everything that fell and putting it back together and saying, I don't need this in the closet. I could throw this away. Nope, I need this. I'm gonna put this back in the closet. This, I don't know why I got all this. I'm hoarding all this. Let me get this out of here. Let me throw it away. I don't need it no more. That's what therapy did for me. It made me understand where my trauma came from, how I deal with it, and how I was wired because of that trauma, and how I was projecting that on so many people. And when I got a good understanding, and it goes back to your childhood, it goes back to father not being there. It goes back to not having a positive male role model in my life. People tell me I'm not good enough. When your first 8 years of your life, your brain is like a VCR that records every memory, and that becomes your subconscious mind. So whatever you were told in your first 7 years of your life, it becomes a constant song on repeat in your mind as an adult, unconsciously. And therapy is you digging in there and pulling out like the cobwebs and finding this gold treasure map that you have covered with mierda for your whole life because you were told you weren't good enough. That's why I learned in therapy. And then I was able to abstract that and find my true gift, that I am special. I am talented. I do have a purpose. I am loved. I am intelligent. But it was pushed down to the bottom with, you're fat. You're not good enough. You're not good at this. You'll never be able to do that. Letting other people's fears and doubts be pressed on me, like when you press like a grilled cheese sandwich, just like that. And I was able to look at that and pick it apart. And now today, you're looking at a man that if I do have a drink, it's once a week. I don't smoke anymore. I lost over 100 pounds. I work out 6 days a week. I eat clean 6 days a week. I'm a loving, caring father, husband, etc. And everything else in my life that doesn't work for me and is negative, I don't allow in. And it took a lot of work to get there because I was letting hurt people hurt me.
Thanks for sharing that, man.
Yeah, man. I know I don't mean to get too deep on you, man, but
thanks for sharing that.
That is in a nutshell what therapy did for me. And it kind of awakened this giant that was inside of me that was too scared to be seen. And now I'm like, I don't care. I don't care what anybody thinks. I know I'm going to follow my own compass and not allow anyone else. I'm going back to Rocky. Put a finger in front of my face and say, you can't do this or you can't do that. Or I couldn't be this or I couldn't be that because of somebody else. That's BS. I couldn't be this person because of myself. I had to get out of my own way. Instead of being a hater and blaming other people. I used to blame my old music manager for years because I didn't make it. And now I'm like, that wasn't his fault. That was me. I failed because of me. And I know, long story, even I'm going to make it very short. It teaches you to hold yourself accountable for the bullshit that you have in your life and not blame anybody else. And through that forcefulness of looking at your bullshit, you come out shining like a diamond, brother. But you got to do the work.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I'm sure a lot of men are going to benefit from that because I feel like where we're living now in the space that we're in with social media and the way that we interact, the way the algorithm has taken control of our lives, I feel like people just don't know how to cope with the demons that they're fighting.
No, man, it's scary and it's hard and it's sad because I've been there. So when I see somebody going through something, I've had conversations with friends. I have a friend that is an alcoholic and I've had real serious conversations with him and he chooses not to listen. And I say to myself, you know what, Lou, this is not your space. Let him learn. Lord willing, he gets it. But you can't also impose your story on somebody else because it might not work for them. They might have to fight a different journey to get to where they need to go.
No, for sure.
You know, but it's hard, man. It's hard. I mean, it's even you telling you this story right now, it brings back those memories like, whoa, I can't believe God's grace through all of it. I was covered. Like, that's when I became Christian and I said this too on my platform. Like, I remember when I became a believer, it was later on in my life, and I had this I couldn't control the tears coming out of my eyes because I was over enamored with the covering that God had over me while I was doing bad things. And he's over there in the corner like, damn, don't worry, I still love you.
Grace.
And that feeling alone it gives me goosebumps right now. I'm feeling it like, who am I to be standing here speaking to you? Because God let it happen.
Amen.
God.
Dope.
Yeah.
Amen.
You got that out of me, bro. Amen, man. That was let's go back to you, man. You slick, man. You supposed to say that for your podcast.
No,
but then why did you ask? Have you gone to therapy, or are you curious about it?
I have not gone to therapy. I have tried several times. But what I am good at is, like, I feel like one of the gifts God has given me is I'm able to be other people's therapist. Like, I counsel so many men, man. I've brought so many men to God. I've saved so many men. And I know that that's one of the callings that I have over my life. And as a result, I'm able to self-internalize and kind of play doctor for myself, if that makes sense, because I play doctor for so many other people. But I have a way of working through my demons, if that makes sense. Like, I'm able to self-reflect and be like, you know what? You should not be doing this, or this was wrong, or you need to reconcile with this. And I'm pretty good at that.
You're an intelligent man. And I mean, again, I never put it on anybody. But if you ever feel like maybe get in there and see a couple sessions, it doesn't hurt. I'm not one of those like Charlemagne the God, like, you gotta go to therapy. But it worked for me. That doesn't mean it can work for you or anybody else. But I always tell people, hey, try something at least once, But I think your intelligence and you're a pretty bright person. Not pretty, you are a bright person. So I think you have a good control, but it never hurts.
More than control, because actually I don't have control. And it's knowing that you don't have control is when you have control. If that sounds crazy.
No, I understand what you're saying.
It's like the understanding of knowing that, you know what? When I'm listening to a man that I'm counseling with and he's sharing, I struggle in this area, I struggle there, or this is where I fall short, I'm also hyper analyzing myself at the same time, if that makes any sense.
I see.
I'm continuously like looking in the mirror and be like, are you doing this as well, David? Or can you fall victim to doing that? Or have you done that in the past? You know what I mean? And I try to stay in that space where I'm consistently making different adjustments, on this journey that we call life, because this is a journey, right? Some parts of the road are smooth, some are hilly, some are bumpy. We're in a mountain, we're in a valley. It's cold weather. It's too sunny. It's too hot. We need air conditioning. It's snowing. We need warmth. We need shelter. So I'm always trying to adjust this to the conditions and navigate the conditions that are taking place in my head, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. And I think, again, you're a bright person and you understand. See, at least you have it kind of figured out to a point that you can I don't want to say self-diagnose, but you can self-regulate. Like, okay, I get it. Don't be a douchebag. You know what I mean? Yeah,
exactly.
Like, there's people in this world that don't even have that figured out, that walk around like retarded all day. Like, I'm just gonna treat this person like crap, whatever the case is, right? But the fact that you have that awareness is key, because I think without awareness, everybody's just walking around, dumb. And
that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah,
it's definitely self-awareness, 100%.
Brother, man, before I get you out of here, I have some mastermind questions I want to ask you.
Go ahead,
I ask everybody that comes on the platform.
Let's do it.
It's basically quick answers, and if you have a story that resonates with you, please feel free to share it, man.
Let's do it.
What book have you read that inspired you the most?
The Bible.
And I had a feeling you were going to say that. Any verse in particular?
There are a lot of them. If I had to just think about one that I say to myself all the time, is lean not unto thine own understanding. Like, don't think that you got it figured out, is what keeps me humble.
I like that.
You got to continuously stay in that space where it's like, I'm not the dude. And don't, like, as you grow, Louis, and you seem like a pretty smart person, it doesn't matter how much people glorify you or try to build you up. Like, yo, you doing your thing. Your music is hot. Your podcast is hot. This and that. Yo, man, nice car. Yo, you always dressing fly. Bro, block all that shit out. Take it in. Receive the compliment. Brother, thank you. I appreciate that. And then move on from it. Don't let none of that shit fill your head.
Appreciate that, man. That's good.
For real.
Good advice, yeah.
Don't let none of that shit fill your head.
What person in your life has brought you the most influence?
In my life, I'd say my mom. My
God-fearing woman. God bless her, man. Is she still with us?
She passed.
Sorry, man. How long ago was this?
I want to say my mom passed in, I want to say 2018, 2019, around there. Like right before COVID hit.
Okay.
Really hard. And, you know, it's a big loss for me. But she's with me every day, man. I feel her presence every day, bro, to be honest with you. My mom, I love you, Gloria. Crazy woman, man. Just amazing, powerful woman. I had never seen my mom angry. I've never seen my mom do something that was outside of the will of God. I've never seen my mom, you know, sin against someone or do something.
Wow.
Like, when I think about the example of a person who's living their life for God, it was that woman.
God bless, man.
So I would say,
an example. Yeah.
I would say that was the most influential person that I've ever met in my life.
Thank you for sharing that, man.
Nah, for sure.
What keeps you driven in life?
My family.
I love it.
My family. I would say, you know, I really want to leave my family in a better position than my parents left me.
Okay.
And I understand that's going to take some discipline. That's going to take some hard work, right? I'm going to have to put forth the effort. I'm going to have to do some incredible things for my family to live the life that I want them to live, that I feel they should be living.
Love
you know,
it,
I want my children to say, damn, when daddy left, he left us all right. Not like when me and you said our fathers didn't have a pot to piss in, my dad was in jail, and my father was on drugs. My dad
We're changing the narrative.
Like, all that shit is like, you know, they'll have negative things to say about me. I don't want it to be those things.
Gotcha.
Right? Because no one is perfect.
Yeah. It's impossible.
You feel me? Yeah, man.
What's your lightest and darkest moment in life?
My lightest moment. Like my happiest
Like your
moment?
happiest, yeah.
That's hard to say. You know why, Louis? I've had a lot of happy moments. I've lived a really good life. So for me to be like, just pick one out that resonates with me.
Is there one that is a cool story to talk about that makes you smile?
There's a lot of them.
There's
like,
a lot?
Yeah, me and you could be podcasting here for the next 10 days because, like I said, bro, to be honest, like my life's been a movie. I lived an incredible life. If you watch the podcast, if you notice, a lot of the people that come on the show, I know these people.
Yeah.
These are people that I've had interactions with. And these are famous people, rich people. I've been all over the world. I've lived on the West Coast, lived on the East. I've owned a nightclub. I've been in the music business. I've been in fashion. I've done a lot of shit. I've had a lot of high moments, man.
So it's hard to name one.
It's hard to name one.
What about your darkest?
My darkest. I would say going to prison, and I would say losing my eye. I lost my eye on the street. I was almost killed. Somebody stabbed.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When was this?
Yeah, that's why I always wear shades on the
Really?
podcast most of the time.
I thought it was just, you know, being a rapper. Like
No. No, I always wear shades on the podcast because I have a dead eye. One of my eyes is
I've seen, I didn't want to bring it up, but I did seen that in one of, you didn't have you had clear glasses on. So I peeped it.
I wear prosthesis. It's a glass eye.
Wow.
So I lost my eye on the streets of violence. Long story short, I was just out doing some dirt. I had done a lot of dirt that year. That year I was like running wild. Like,
yeah.
It's really like sticking shit up, shooting niggas, selling drugs, like really going
really bad shit. I mean, bad.
Listen, dark. When you say dark, I was going hard.
Right. Woo.
Like hard, like muscle emoji hard, bro. So, you know, God slowed me down, man. That was ugly for me. That was ugly for me. And then I would also say going to prison was even darker than that. And people be like, word? Bro, jail is the worst. Oh my God, the worst people are in jail. I hate to say this shit.
No, it's true
like,
though.
Listen, man, the shit going on in prison, man, it's just a dark, evil, demonic place.
My father has told me.
There's really nothing good happening in prison. No one can get rehabilitated there. No one's coming out better. Don't ever believe that shit.
Yeah, that's
it's
just
not
like
a place. It's a place of it's purgatory.
Yeah.
Prison is purgatory.
It's hell.
It's not rehabilitation, it's purgatory.
How long did you do?
I don't even want to talk about that, man. I don't want to get too deep into that shit. It's just a dark period.
Gotcha.
You asked me what was my darkest moment.
Yeah,
That was it.
But at least you came out on the other side
100%.
not dark.
I mean, even when I was in there, I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
I have nothing in common with nobody here.
But you're like an anomaly. Like it's called the correctional facility, but no one gets corrected. You got corrected.
No one gets corrected. I wouldn't say I got corrected. I just learned to be better at what I did. I came out and hustled again. I just never got caught again. It was more about...
So you didn't learn the lesson.
I learned the lesson because I learned not to get caught. I never went back. Yo, so let me put it in perspective. God forgive me for this. When I came out of jail, it was like, yo, you know what? I'll never come back here again, but I also won't go as hard as I was going.
I feel what you're saying.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
I'm not gonna hurt nobody. God, I'm not gonna shoot at nobody. I'm not robbing nobody. I'm just gonna get my bread and be on some fly shit. I'm not gonna be on no street shit. If that makes any sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to get fully gone away from the streets after that?
It all depends because street shit is always with you when you're from the street. It's not that I get gone from it. It's just that God gives me the grace where I could fight the temptation to do those type of things because still, right, the sin is in me, right? The sin is in me, the sin is all around me. And even till this day, I'll make mistakes and do things that are wrong. Not that I'm hustling or doing anything like that, but just make decisions that are poor and not godly. But for me to say I've done anything, I haven't done anything, but I continue to lean on God and he continues to do the work.
Love it. Good answer, man. I got two more for you and then I'll get you out of here, brother.
Go ahead.
Have you ever had any vices? How'd you overcome them?
I don't have an addictive spirit. This is my answer. I'm just lucky like that. Okay. I don't have an addictive spirit. If I had to say my one biggest vice throughout my life, I would say it's been women. Women have been a downfall for me. I've had a lot of negative relationships, and the way that I've used women throughout the course of my life, I would say, has been detrimental to my personal success and just to my lifestyle. But for me, like alcohol and drugs, never been a big fan. No, never been.
Gotcha.
Because I hustled big, so it's like
you saw the negativity of addiction.
Yeah, this is not for me, right?
Yeah, got you. Last one here, and it's always one that gets everybody stumped. What's the last thing you purchased that has changed your life?
A house.
Beautiful.
House. When me and my wife bought this house, it was life-changing for the fam. I felt like the kids needed to change. We were living in New York City. New York was changing. There was like a lot of crime taking place in New York at the time. And we were just like, we got to make a change for them so they don't grow up like us. So I would say the last thing that I purchased that changed my life, I would say a house.
Beautiful answer, man. Wow. David, I got to tell you, man, last hour and a half here with you, I see a man in front of me that has not yet been perfect, because none of us could be, but you have the awareness to understand that where you're going, changes have to happen, and you are constantly looking to change for the better, to better the future for not just your life, but your family and everybody around you.
I agree with that for
and
sure.
And that is something that is inspiring. It is motivational, and it's endearing to my heart, because more people need to understand that you can make some really messed up choices in your life and not be where you want to be at, but wake up and just become 1% better on the positive versus being negative 1% on the negative. So your story is one of, it's a tale of caution. Like, I did this. I'm not doing it no more, but I'm heading here. And I know I don't got it all figured out, but my goal and my intention is to become a better human being, a better person, a better father, a better husband, a better me. And God bless you on that journey, because, you know, you've been through a lot, and I know your next chapter, God definitely has something special for you.
Amen. I received that. Glory be to God. And I want to leave you with a word. I'll tell you this, Louis. You are talented. You are talented. I don't even think like you know or realize the scope of your own talent. You're an anointed man. You're a talented man. You have amazing gifts. Your gift is to touch people, to bless other people, to be an example to those around you. Walk in that purpose. Carry that cross. God is going to take you amazing places. You're going to see things in this world that you never imagined. He's going to show them to you. What you have coming, the life you've lived is nothing compared to the life that you're going to live, the purpose that you're about to walk into. You're walking in your purpose, man. You're a professional at this podcasting thing. You know, I believe it's going to be amazing for you. I believe you're going to grow.
Thank you, man. I mean, I received that, and it really warms me to hear those type of words, not just because it's you, but the fact that other people have said the same thing to me, and I thought it was smoke. But when other people when you say it to me, and you met me today for the first time, and you're saying this to me.
But even before I met you, I watched a bunch of episodes. Like I told you prior to coming on, I would not have come on if I didn't respect your platform and what you did and the way you speak, the way you articulate, the way you communicate. I would not have come on.
Thank you. No, seriously, it's hard for me to take compliments sometimes, but I'm going to take this one because, again, the reason I asked you to come on is for the same exact reason. I like the way you carry yourself. You speak with integrity. You speak truth. You speak with authority. And I think that is something that is needed in this space today. And stories like yours have to be heard to inspire other people that feel like they're in that dark place that they can't get out of. So just like you're telling me thank you, I want to thank you because you've left me today with some type of inspiration that I needed in my life.
I appreciate you, big bro.
Papa, appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you.
God bless you, bro. Man, listen, we did it, man. So, like, if you have anything you want to promote while you're here, the cameras are there. Talk about your podcast. Let people know where they can find you.
I want to shout out Fresh, this clothing brand. I want to shout out my guy, Sharif Prophet, one of the sponsors of the show. I want to shout out another one of my sponsors, Jack Turner Watches. Wonderful timepieces. Go to jackturner.com. Give them a look. Amazing movements, Swiss manufactured, beautiful watches. As a matter of fact, I got one for you.
Stop.
No, dead ass. I'm going to gift you one.
Come on.
Amazing Swiss timepieces.
Oh my God.
I got one for you. Next time I see you, I will have it in my hand.
Bro.
Next time I see you, I will have it in my hand.
Wow.
Want to shout them out. Watch the Delgado's podcast everywhere you can see it. And thank you for having me, man. I appreciate being here.
Brother, I appreciate you making time, sharing your story, and the impact you left on me today and on this audience. I can't wait to hear what people have to say about it, man.
Cool, man. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Bobby, God bless you, bro.
Yo, peace,
appreciate you, bro. Absolutely, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap on this episode of I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman podcast. If this podcast has inspired or moved you in any way, please subscribe to my Apple, Spotify, and YouTube platforms by typing in Luis Guzman, I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman, and clicking that subscribe button. Please make sure to follow the Instagram as well at I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman for further content and updates. I am thankful for every listener. I pray you have a blessed one, not a stressed one. Peace.
I need you by my side.